Nevada, where every ticket has been sold and a passing of the torch takes place in the managerial chair. The Braves begin their charge towards a playoff berth in 2011 here at home tonight. Turner Field is ready to rock. It's the home opener 2011 as the Braves begin their home portion of the season schedule against the Phillies, and the ceremonial first pitch thrown out by none other than number 6, Bobby Cox.
There were a lot of ovations tonight, Chip, for different players, but nobody got as loud an ovation as number 6 when he got the honors of throwing to Freddie Gonzalez to start this thing off.
The ceremonial passing of the torch as we welcome you to our broadcast booth here in Atlanta, Georgia. Braves baseball on Sports South, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff and the low price. Hi again, friends. Joe Simpson and Chip Carey with you. There is really nothing quite like opening day. The Braves 3-4 to start the road portion of their schedule. Everybody very happy to be back home.
I think they were going to get some rest and play a little better than they did at the wrap-up of that Milwaukee series, but the Braves played great in this ballpark all season long last year. In fact, they tied for the best record ever at Turner Field, going 56-25. A lot of dramatic walk-off wins, and 28 come from behind wins, which was second best in the major leagues. This is a fun place to watch a game. It's going to be fun again this year because this is a good club.
And it should be fun watching Tim Hudson pitch against the Philadelphia Phillies. Tim was great in his last start. Cliff Lee, the veteran left-hander, will be his opponent for the Philadelphia Phillies. Sellout crowd, standing room only crowd, and a whole lot of excitement here at Turner Field. We're glad you're with us. Lineups, first pitch for the home opener, coming right up. Is brought to you in part by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by AT&T, by Delta Airlines, by the Georgia Lottery, and by Blimpie. Tim Hudson is ready to go for his second start of the young season as we welcome you back to Turner Field for Friday Night Braves baseball presented by Blimpie. Standing room only crowd, home opener, and oh yeah, the Philadelphia Phillies are in town too.
I think that's what makes it right. To have the division winning Philadelphia Phillies come in. The Braves also unveiled their wild card banner out in left field along the 755 club railing, so that was a nice touch. But the Phillies are in town, having won 5 of their first 6 games. They played them all at home. They played them against the Astros and the Mets, and they beat up on those teams. But when you talk about the Phillies, especially in the offseason, it was about their pitching, and the acquisition of Cliff Lee added to their rotation. But take a look at this. I mean, 9 losses for Cliff Lee last year. In fact, he lost 5 of his last 8 decisions. Roy Oswalt had a .500 record, lost 13 times. Cole Hamels, 11 losses. Good ERAs, yes. But these guys are not unbeatable. They're not going to win every game. I like the Braves pitching as much as the Phillies, and I think this is going to be a good series to watch all year long. And now, having said that, the Braves are going to have to swing the bats better than they did in Milwaukee when they struggled to score, and they got to start doing that in the first inning tonight.
Yeah, because the Phillies are clubbing the baseball in the season's first week, and we'll talk about that as we look at Charlie Manuel's starting lineup tonight for the 5-1 Phillies. Big key when you play them, control Shane Victorino at the top of the order, something the Braves have been very good at the last couple of seasons, and you know Tim Hudson will be thinking about that in his first start against them tonight.
It's his second start of the year. He was absolutely brilliant against Washington. 7 innings, gave up 1 run early, but then retired the last 17 batters in a row that he faced, and his teammates gave him a nice lead to work with, too. Last year, he was 2-1 in 3 starts against the Phillies with a .379 ERA, and oddly enough, his career ERA against the Phillies is 3.79 and a 6-7 mark.
The Phillies, in winning 5 of their first 6 games, have sported some very impressive offensive numbers, and they're off to a near historic start.
Yeah, just 1 shy of their team record for 6 games in terms of hits. They're averaging 7.5 runs per game. Again, I tell you, they played the Astros and they played the Mets. And that's all I will say, with all due respect to those 2 teams, but they are not division contenders.
As you look at the Braves defensively, you'll see Prado McLouth and Jason Hayward from left to right in the outfield. Chipper, Alex Ugla, Freddie Freeman around the horn. And Tim Hudson, Brian McCann, the Braves battery. Umpiring crew tonight. There you see the foursome. And now you'll see Shane Victorino lead things off.
Braves have done an outstanding job on Victorino and Rollins the last 2 years, keeping them off base. See if it continues in 2011. Those 2 guys who a lot of times back to back when Chase Utley is in the lineup and healthy. A 158 combined average and just a 205 on base percentage the last 2 years.
Victorino with a 261 average has driven home 5 runs for the Phillies to start the year.
.235 career average against Tim. 2 homers. Switch hitter, a lot of speed. Again, you just got to keep him off the sacks.
Dirt flies in the eyes of the home plate umpires. You see Charlie Manuel. Outstanding job at the helm of the Phillies ball club. Last year an injury-plagued season. And they're hurt to start this season too.
Got a new contract extension too in the offseason, and well earned.
Up the middle. It hits the second base bag.
It looked like Hudson slowed it down a little bit, which was going to give Alex Gonzalez a chance to make a play here had it not hit the bag. So the first break goes the way of the Phillies.
And a fast man at first for Placido Polanco. He had a gigantic series against the Mets. Drove in 8 runs against New York. And is hitting .440 in the season.
Last year it wasn't Victorino, Rollins, Utley, Howard, the guys you would expect to do the damage against the Braves. It was the supporting cast. Polanco hit .342. Ruiz hit .375. Ibanez .284.
As we know, Tim is not afraid to pitch inside to Placido Polanco.
No, he's not. That was a point of contention last year as he plunked Polanco on the left elbow. That required some surgery in the offseason, and it was a problem for Polanco the rest of the year. Here's that play last year, April 21st, right here at Turner Field. And now he wears that protective device. Tim got off to a slow start in Washington in his first start of the year. He gave up a 1-out walk, then a couple of hits, and fell behind. Actually, that run that he gave up in the first tied the game, but then it was lights out. Nationals only got 1 hit over the next 6 innings. It's nice to see the Braves in a white uniform. We got a look a second ago at Juan Samuel, who's taken over as the third base coach for the Phillies. Sam Perlazo is now their first base coach. He moves from third to coach first. Davey Lopes left the team. He's now at the Dodgers.
Close play at first.
Good quick turn by Tim there.
Better keep an eye on Victorino. 34 steals and 40 tries last year for the Phillies. And a soft pop to shallow left. And that'll drop for a hit. So Victorino hits the second base bag. Polanco bloops one into left. And now the table set for Jimmy Rollins.
Right off the end of the bat, too. Fooled on a slider. Polanco plunked one into shallow left.
Well, here's a spot where you hope Tim, with his ability to get double play balls, can get Rollins to bounce into one here in the first. Just 88 games for Rollins last year at a .243 batting average. It was an injury-plagued season for him. Freddie charges. Bullet there. And that's all the Braves get.
Nice play, though. In between hop. Made a strong throw to Gonzalez. Alex probably made the right play by just eating this because Hudson wasn't yet to the bag to cover. And thought Thought he might catch Victorino rounding the bag too far at third, but still have a double play in order.
But a big bat up there in the form of Ryan Howard. All he's done to start the year is hit .480. Joe, how do you hit .480 in the season's first week? We'll show you on our Sunshine House leaderboard.
Most hits in the league, and followed closely by 3 guys. 2 of them are in this game, and one of them's a Brave. Brian McCann with 11 hits. Ryan's had a lot of good luck against Tim Hudson, too. Of the guys in the lineup, I would guess that Tim has the most trouble with Ryan Howard. 14 hits allowed to him in his career, 6 of them for homers.
Infield shift on with 1 out.
Good changeup. Might have been a split finger pitch.
Collins runs and no chance for McCann. That takes away the double play opportunity. Now they're at second and third with 1 out.
Well, at least temporarily takes away the double play opportunity, but let's see what happens. The fact that Tim's ahead in the count makes a big difference. He can go after the out, the strikeout here. And hopefully do it without having to throw a strike and get Howard to chase one.
In the air toward left. Martine's there. The Braves will concede the run. It's a sacrifice fly for Howard, and the Phillies lead by a run.
Like he got something down and in and kind of took an inside out swing at this pitch. Made good contact. Target was inside. And it had more of the plate than it looked like. But he was obviously just trying to make sure he put the ball in play to get that runner in.
So the Phillies score first. And here's Ben Francisco.
On any given night when the Braves are playing the Phillies, you don't want your pitcher going out there thinking and pitching tight, thinking, I can't give up a run. I can't give up 2 runs because they're pitching so good. We may not be able to jump on them. You can't think that way. You got to have confidence in your offense that they're going to do some damage that night too.
Well, you know the Phillies aren't going to score 7.5 runs a game the rest of the year.
Let's hope not.
You also know the Braves aren't going to average, with the exception of that one game in Washington, 2 runs a game this year. Base hit on a hit and run. Chipper was covering the bag, and Rollins will score easily.
That was a straight steal by Rollins because nobody was really bird dogging him at second base. He had a huge lead, and he took it, and in the process drew Chipper out of position for Francisco to hit it by him. Chipper's got to go cover third, otherwise this ball's hit right at him.
So 6 RBIs for the man charged with replacing Jason Worth in the Phillies lineup. Now Raul Ibanez bats with a runner at first and 2 out. Francisco runs, and McCann drops the baseball.
I would say the plan so far is pretty obvious what they intend to do. Tim Hudson's not that slow to the plate, but he did have a high leg kick there, and Francisco guessed right.
First steal for Francisco, and he's in scoring position, and a 1-1 count.
First year that Raul Ibanez was in a Phillies uniform in 2009, a big hit, especially the first half of 2009. That year he hit 34 homers. Last year he fell off to 16. Numbers weren't quite as good. The 16 a little more in keeping with the average for his career.
Dan Uggla. And that retires the side. The Phillies, though, score twice. They do it on 3 hits, a couple of stolen bases, too. And the Braves come up at home for the first time. The Phillies score twice in their first at bat. Now the Braves come up for Freddie Gonzalez at Turner Field. Braves off to a 3-4 start. Let's see if Dan Uggla can do something special in Atlanta. He loves hitting at Turner Field, and he's got a tough left-hander to face in Cliff Lee tonight.
32 years old, 6'3", 190 pounds, out of Benton, Arkansas, and the University of Arkansas. He's won at least 12 games, 6 out of the last 7 years. Good numbers against the NL East from a trip through the East a couple of years ago when he was with the Phillies. And he just doesn't walk anybody. This guy, pretty amazing. Last year, 212 innings, 18 walks, 185 strikeouts, good cutter, good curveball and changeup, and he will throw strikes.
And straight over the top.
Straight over the top, very simple mechanics, very good balance.
In the air to right center field. Victorino and Francisco nearly collide. Ibanez, Victorino, and Francisco in the outfield pasture. No Chase Utley still for the Phillies, out with a big knee problem. Cliff Lee and Carlos Ruiz the battery. Nate McLouth brings a 5-game hit streak into play tonight. He's hitting .217 for the year.
That walk to strikeout ratio last year for Cliff Lee was the second best in Major League history. 10.28 strikeouts to every walk. The only one that was lower was Brett Saberhagen in '94. Ten strikeouts to every walk. That ain't bad. Looked like the Yankees were going to sign him, then it looked like the Rangers were going to sign him, and then the Phillies stepped in with a 5-year, $120 million offer. And they got him.
And one of the things that Cliff said influenced that decision was how much he and his family enjoyed playing in Philadelphia, how great the fans were to him and his family. And as you know, that hasn't always been the reputation of some of the fans in Philadelphia.
And to top it off, what made that even more ironic, I think, Chip, was that the Phillies had traded him.
Yeah.
When they signed Roy Halladay, they couldn't afford everybody, and they traded Cliff Lee to the Mariners. Mariners eventually traded him to Texas, and then he became a free agent.
Good at bat for Nate. Full count.
Yeah.
Lefty against lefty.
He's going to walk some guys. Maybe we'll just talk about walks all night. Never walks anybody.
Like the way you think, partner. That's past Ryan Howard. And Chipper Jones with one swing could tie the game in the first.
He's got a little streak working. Got the count full and got a cutter that was up that he could handle and pulled it right in the hole. 6 straight games for Nate.
Chipper's had his right-hand stroke working from the opening bell. Little dribbler. Polanco. 2 out.
Might have noticed that there is a B, a script B on the chest of the Phillies uniforms. That's in memory this year of a couple of members of the ownership group of the Phillies who passed away. 2 brothers, Alexander Buck and his brother Malin Buck, who recently passed away. So that B is in both of their memories.
Foul at second for Brian McCann. As we showed you, second to Ryan Howard in hits in the league with 11.
This guy, Lee's numbers, his left-handed, right-handed splits are a lot like Sean Markham's yesterday, and for the same reason. He has a very good cutter that he really wears right-handed hitters out with, but he can't utilize that against lefties. So lefties last year hit him at 281 clip, right-handers just 227.
Outfield pretty much straight away from McCann,
who trails only Carlos Lee and Ryan Howard with most 2-out RBIs the last couple of years. And another deep count.
And all 5 of Brian's RBIs this year have been 2-out RBIs. Obviously a good pitch, 3 balls and a strike.
Cliff Lee's career ERA against the Braves, 5.06, 1-1 record.
Cliff Lee has walked his first hitter of the game. And now Dan Ugla will try to do some damage at Turner Field. And he's our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot.
Well, he hit the jackpot in this ballpark his whole career. 354 career average and 12 homers. Atlanta certainly hoping, the Braves certainly hoping that translates to good numbers in a Braves uniform too.
He was thinking about adding to those numbers with that first swing. Little pop and foul ground and playable. And Cliff Lee walks his first man, but escapes the first with the lead.
And there was the cutter.
A standing room crowd at Turner Field for the home opener tonight. And the Phillies with a couple of runs and 3 hits in the first inning, up for their second look at Tim Hudson now. Ruiz, Valdez, and Lee are scheduled to hit.
You settle in, have a quicker inning, get a little better feel for what he's done. I mean, he had a tough inning. The ball hits the base, a little blooper to left. Rollins steals, and Francisco hits one right where Chipper had been.
Kick save, and Ugla can't get it. This is unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. Let's hope this didn't hit Tim too hard, like he was able to pick up his back leg just a little bit. Couldn't get it to kick over to Dan Ugla.
So Ruiz aboard for Wilson Valdez. He's knocked in 5 runs and is hitting over 400.
The second base job was pretty much wide open this spring with Utley's absence. And then when the Mets let Luis Castillo go, the Phillies brought him into camp, signed him, played him a few games. They didn't keep him. He was not the guy they thought could help him.
Bounced off the plate. Chipper has to hurry. One out.
That had cheap hit written all over it. Good play by Chipper to kind of go up and get the ball and get his feet set as he was in the air, coming down into his throwing motion. But to finish that story about the backup second baseman, after they let Castillo go, they kept all three of the guys that were vying for the position: Valdez, Michael Martinez, and our old pal Pete Orr.
Cliff Lee, and that's past Gonzalez. First and third, one out. Now the top of the order's coming up.
Well, this has been a start that the Braves were not expecting, with so many bloops and bouncers off the bag, and now the first error of the year by one of the infielders on a play.
Third error of the year for the Braves overall. And that sets it up for Victorino, who hit that bouncing ball up the middle that hit the second base bag, and he scored the game's first run. There's one. No chance to get Victorino. Ruiz scores, and the Phillies lead by 3.
Already the 6th RBI of the year for the leadoff man for the Phillies, and anytime he one-hands it one like that, where he's kind of running out of the box as he makes contact, there's no way you're going to double him up. And a long double play to turn at that.
Polanco hits.
Polanco's just an ideal number 2 hitter. Hits the ball to all fields, has a little power, but mostly just handles the bat. Hitting behind runners, taking advantage of holes on the infield. Chokes up on the bat about as much as anybody you'll see in the game these days.
There goes. Freddie gives chase, and he'll have no play. You hit it on the head, partner. The Phillies are running fools early.
Rollins stole a base, was trying to steal third when Francisco got the hit. Then Francisco stole second. And now Victorino running.
Close play.
Big lead again for Victorino. Front foot out there even with the cut.
Again he goes.
That is a big lead, folks. As you watch games during the summer from Turner Field and you see leads, you're not going to see too many with the guy's front foot, his right foot out past that cutout. Here's the grass cut that I'm talking about right there. And he's got his right foot past that point.
Doesn't go this time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Already 4 hits for the Phillies. They've had 16 hits in each of their last 2 games.
One yesterday against the Mets, 11-0.
11's usually enough for Roy Halladay. Again, the runner goes and got a big jump.
Good trade of any good base stealer. Crossover step and stay low. And Victorino does that. Sometimes you'll see a guy pick up that front foot first, and that is not a good stolen base move. And or they stand straight up and take off. Victorino, good crossover, stayed low. Stole it fairly easily.
Now from 0-2 to 3-2. And that'll retire the side. First strikeout of the game for Tim Hudson, but he trails 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Phillies in front. Braves coming up with Jason Hayward ready to knock things off. Let's flash back to October 3rd of last year, that memorable date with the Phillies.
A huge game. Brooks Conrad with a big hit. Derek Lee launched one. Billy Wagner finished it up. Braves then had to wait to see how things turned out west. And there it is. Wild card.
And earlier today, the Braves unveiled their wild card pennant. As we open the slate at Turner Field, where the Braves were so dominant last season.
5-4 here against the Phillies. We have two pitchers tonight who have both won the Comeback Player of the Year award. Cliff Lee won it in 2008. And he was also the Cy Young Award winner for the Indians. And Tim Hudson won it last year for the Braves.
Lee in that 08 season was 22-3. Won 19 games in his first 21 decisions.
That was pretty good. Now, what's surprising about that, I mean, he came back from a year in 07 where he was 5-8 and an ERA over 6. And then after his Cy Young year, he went 7-9 with a 3 ERA.
He only made 22 starts that year. Jason in the air toward left. Long run at Banez, and he's not going to get it. Big turn. Big man going for 3.
I don't know what it is about his first at-bats at Turner Field each year, but I'm liking it. Home run last year, triple tonight. Nice to see him really driving this one the other way. A chance to get at least one of those runs back right here.
Hot shot. The Braves are on the board. A Hayward triple, a Gonzalez double. It's a 3-1 game.
Alex Gonzalez has had good luck against Cliff Lee in his career. He's now 5 for 13 with a homer, and part of the reason is because he's hard to pitch inside. That was a cutter, but it didn't come in enough. Stayed out over the plate, and Alex can get the barrel of the bat to this one and hook it right down the line.
Freddie Freeman bats. 1 in, 1 on, none out in the Braves' second.
Get him over. And let Hudson get him in.
Freddie's first big league home run came against a notable Philly. That was Roy Halladay. How about a base hit to right? Gonzalez had to hold, and the Braves have 3 straight hits to start the second inning.
You want the run there, but you're Alex Gonzalez running at second base. You've got to make sure this ball isn't caught. Looked like a flat slider, and Freddie just ripped it just out of the reach of Wilson Valdez, and that's why Alex here had to freeze and make sure it got by him and why he couldn't score. Let's see if Freddie Gonzalez plays this like we would have seen Bobby Cox play it, which is bunt that runner over from first to second and set up Martin Prado. Not a squeeze bunt, just a sacrifice for the guy at first. Tim tonight when he's taking batting practice, I could see him taking one of those cutters and hooking it down the third baseline like Alex did. He says, yeah, I'm visualizing that right now. I can see that. It's not this at bat. Need to get the bunt down.
Tim does have a sacrifice this year.
Had the bat out in front of him, but just kind of poked at it. Tim can swing the bat. Let's see if they take the bunt off and let him hack away here. The infield has shortened up a little.
Called third over the outside corner.
Good pitch. I'm with you, Chip. We were talking about this in Milwaukee, having that center field camera almost directly behind the pitcher's mound gives you a good vantage point, and you can see the ball cross those corners a little better.
So Alex still at third, Freddie Freeman at first. One out now for Prado. Martin flied out his first time.
That was a simple case of Martin knowing how important that run is right there at third base with less than 2 outs. And rather than take a chance of hitting into a double play, he just thought he would go ahead and put the bunt down to the right side, but he got in a hurry.
Fly ball well hit center. Victorino on the run. It's over his head. It's a 3-2 game on a double by Prado.
From a hitting standpoint compared to what we saw in Milwaukee. The guys have come out hacking and they're getting some good pitches to hit. This is letter high from Cliff Lee, who slaps his glove when he sees the results. And Martin, who was a doubles machine last year, picks up another one here. It might have cost him an RBI too. Freddie might have been able to score.
Three extra base hits for the Braves in the inning. Now Nate McLouth with a hit could put the Braves in front. McLouth already a single in his first trip.
Well, he's got to size up the infield, see that they're playing back, and just concentrate on pulling the ball to the right side here early in the count. Make sure that he gets Freddie in. If he gets a base hit, all the better. Sacrifice fly would work just fine too.
Two.
Got to shorten up his swing now.
Off the middle, Valdez. But the game is tied. McLouth with 2 strikes put the ball in play, and it's a 3-3 game.
Just right. Oh, 2. He was willing to get jammed. Cliff Lee busted him inside. He may have even broken Nate's bat. Nate gets his second RBI of the year. Look how he was hanging out over the plate, too, to make sure that he had everything covered. Well done by Nate, behind in the count. He's not out of the woods yet.
Chipper 2 hits away from 2,500 in his career.
Chip, we always hear and talk about what Chipper Jones has done to the New York Mets. How about these numbers against the Philadelphia Phillies? Second all-time in average, second all-time in on-base and slugging percentage to a couple of pretty good hitters.
He's also 6 RBIs away from 1,500 in the big leagues. He's ahead in this second inning count. Valdez at second. The Braves, though, tie the game with 3 runs on 4 hits. Jason Hayward tripled to start the inning. He scored. Alex scored. Freddie Freeman scored. And it's a new game after 2 at Turner Field. At our Joel and Associates game summary.
I think Jason Hayward's triple and Alex Gonzalez's double fired everybody up. The guys went up there hacking. They got some good pitches and didn't miss them there in the bottom of the second. And now Tim Hudson can have a restart.
And all season long, Braves baseball on Sports South, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff for low price. Rollins, Howard, Francisco up for the Phillies. Leg problems really hampered Rollins last year. Specifically a right calf strain that disabled him twice last season. And then had hamstring problems in September.
That was one of the reasons that I got a little perturbed at people who would suggest that the Braves choked away the lead at the end of last year. They had the lead, I think, about halfway through August. But the truth of the matter was the Phillies didn't have their club on the field. They had a lot of injuries they were dealing with, including Rollins. They couldn't get everybody on the field. Right. And then when they did, they got to work, and they were the Phillies everybody expected them to be.
Ground ball to Ugla. And the exact opposite was true for the Braves. As the Phillies got healthy, Chipper got hurt. Prado got hurt. Chris Medlin got hurt. That was a very big loss, I think, too, for the club last year.
Couldn't agree more, and you're exactly right. Braves made a roster move today They optioned Mike Minor back to Gwinnett, called up J.C. Boscan, the backup catcher, to give them some extra depth on the bench until such time as it's Jair Jurgen's turn to come off the DL and pitch.
And the plan for that is against the Mets on the 16th of the month. And there's another advantage for Freddie Gonzalez in having a third catcher on his roster.
Well, it gives him a chance to use David Ross as a right-handed pinch hitter off the bench, something he is not reluctant to do, but hesitant to do when you've only got two catchers, for fear that one might get hurt.
Another ground ball from the outfield grass. First straight ground outs for Tim Hudson. That's a little more like it.
Yeah, it is. And certainly Dan Uggla getting used to making those plays in shallow right field after playing there for Prince Fielder for 4 games.
Don't forget to join us all weekend long here in Atlanta, especially for Sunday's game. The Braves will battle the Phillies, and we'll have the Avett Brothers free post-game concert presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. For tickets, visit Braves.com/Avett Brothers. Little pop.
Good inning.
That's just what the doctor ordered, huh? 3 up, 3 down. 9 pitches for Hudson, and the Braves back in the box. In the middle of the Braves order, looking to jump in front of Cliff Lee tonight in the first home game of a new season. Partner, you ready to go with our Home Depot know-how question of the game tonight?
I am. Person wants to know, why is the interference rule different for defensive players than it is for a runner trying to break up a double play? Case in point, Chipper getting in the way of Jason Worth here. Chipper was not in the process of making a play. He was in the process of going over to be the cutoff man and impeded the progress of Jason Worth. You can't do that. From a double play standpoint, a runner breaking up a double play, he has every right to get to the bag at second. And if he bumps into the runner, provided he slid correctly where he could touch the base or reach it, then that's all legal.
Ryan walked his first time up tonight. Even sometimes when that base runner slides in legally at second base, bad things can happen. That was the case for the Twins yesterday. They lost their starting second baseman to a broken leg on a hard slide by Nick Swisher of the Yankees.
Yeah, the young Japanese second baseman Nishioka, who Said it was a clean play, professional play. Twins had no problem with it. Ron Gardenhire, the manager, said it just happened.
A lot of 2-ball, 3-ball counts from Lee in the early going.
Especially to the left-handed hitters.
And a base hit over Howard for Brian McCann.
The one thing the hitters know about Cliff Lee, and it doesn't happen very often where he's constantly having to make 3-1 pitches, 2-0 pitches, 3-2, is that he's around the plate. He's just not going to walk anybody, so you know you're going to get a pitch around the plate. And even though he took a little off on this pitch on a 3-1 count, Brian was all over it, kind of not worried about him jamming him. Got a good piece of that one.
Leadoff man on for the Braves for the second time in as many innings. And now Dan Uggla bats with McCann at first.
By the way, Brian McCann's tied for the league lead in hits now.
And I know he's talking to Howard all about that at first. Yeah. Dan looking for his first hit against a southpaw pitcher this year. Toward third, what a play, Polanco. Long throw. One out.
That was an absolutely brilliant play. That was headed to the left field corner, a hanging breaking ball. Dan smoked it. And a good, strong throw, too. Hard part for a right-handed hitter is many times when you pull a ball like this, it takes you a little bit to get your feet under you to take off for first base. And that was the case for Uggla. Just a brilliant play by Polanco.
And one of the best glove men in baseball is Placido at third base. Led all of Major League third basemen in fielding percentage last year. Won a couple of Gold Gloves as a second baseman. In fact, one year won the AL Gold Glove and didn't make an error all year. Wow. So a spectacular play robbed Uggla. I think you're right. Biggest hit in the game for Atlanta was Hayward's leadoff triple an inning ago.
Good hook. I don't know if it's the two-tone bat or if it's just the fact that Jason's so big, but he sure makes that bat look short.
That's over the outside corner, and Hayward can't believe it.
I don't blame him for barking about that one. We'll take a look at it again, but unless that pitch really backed up. No. Cliff Lee got a gift there. Even Ruiz is having to kind of caught the ball going to his left and framed it back. Tough break for Jason.
Both he and Tim Hudson argued about outside corner pitches. Those are the men that Lee has struck out.
Strikeout pitch again from above home plate. And again, you just have to watch Ruiz's glove to see that he knew he had to move it back.
Up the middle. Rollins with a 360 spin. Saved a run.
They've been one of the best fielding teams in the National League for about 3 years running, and you're seeing why tonight.
Braves get a leadoff hit from Brian McCann, but can't cash it in as we stay tied. Braves Baseball is brought to you in part by Kroger, by the Home Depot, by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by Joel and Associates, and by Arby's. Good ball game after 3. Our score tied at 3. Braves get their first look at the Phillies. And my partner, who's been red hot on the trivia, gets another crack at the AT&T U-verse trivia question. Tim, one of 3 active guys with a 17-win year in both the AL and National League. Or the other 2.
Roy Halladay. Be 1.
Derek Lowe.
Whoa. I like the way you're thinking.
Tim starting to rack up the ground balls.
Both in the ballpark tonight.
We'll see Cole Hamels in the series wrap-up. Rough start for Cole in his first assignment of the year.
And had a bad spring, too.
That'll be Sunday afternoon. Buddy Tom Glavine will join us for that broadcast with Derek Lowe pitching for the Braves. Carlos Ruiz now a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Another one of those secret weapons the Phillies have in their lineup. And another comebacker. He's 2 for 2.
Well, he had his best year last year. He hit .308. Had some home runs for these guys. They are a good fastball hitting team as a group. He's the best of the bunch. He can hit anybody's fastball.
Really? Yeah. I mean, he killed the Braves. We know that.
Hit .375 against Atlanta. .357 rather. And almost a .500 on base percentage.
When you're talking about guys like Victorino and Utley and Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins, this guy hits fastballs better than those guys.
Better than them.
Wow.
He's a terrific fastball hitter.
He took one back through the box for his second hit. Now Valdez hits with 1 out.
now the rest of our matchups, the Jamison Inn upcoming schedule.
Host Walton Beachy tomorrow on the Fox National Network. 1 o'clock airtime, 1:10 first pitch, and then Sunday likewise, Hamels and Lowe. That game will be on Fox Sports South, as you said, with Tom Glavine joining us.
Great to see our broadcast partners, all one big happy family. Those of you in Atlanta watching on Peachtree TV, those of you around the Southeast watching us on Fox. Check your local listings. You'll get a chance to watch every Braves game where you are. Very exciting time for us. And it figures to be a very exciting 2011 season. Glad you're along for the ride. Here we are, fourth inning, a 3-3 game. Hudson and Lee dueling. Up the middle. Taylor-made double play. All the butterflies look to be out of Tim Hudson's belly. The ground ball's being racked up. We go to the fourth, 3-3. Presented by Blimpie, with my partner Joe Simpson and our entire crew from Turner Field. Chip Carey with you. Our first look at the Phillies and Cliff Lee, their starting pitcher. Phillies jumped in front by a 3-0 score, and the Braves came back with 3 of their own to tie it up.
I think it's pretty obvious, though, that Tim Hudson's found his groove. Yeah. He's gotten into a nice rhythm. He's keeping the ball down. He's getting good movement. He's getting his ground balls again. That's always a good sign for him. And he has set down the last 8 in a row.
Lots and lots of ground balls is a good recipe against this Philly club.
Absolutely is.
And the Prez hopes the Braves can take a lead here in the fourth inning of play. Freeman, Hudson, and Martin Prado. You made a great point about the work left-hand hitters can do against Lee.
And the Braves are kind of reflecting that same thing. The numbers from a year ago against them. Left-handers tonight, 4 for 6. Right-handers 2 for 8. They put some good swings on him. Lefties last year hit him 281. Right-handers 227.
Take that. And now Hudson a chance to bunt again.
An 0-2 pitch and Plumpkin. Curveball that got away from him. Thank you very much. See if Tim can do a little better job of getting that ball down this time.
Lee with spectacular control. 212 innings plus last year, hit exactly one batter.
Did he really?
Lee with great control. Hardly walks anybody. He's also walked a man in this game. As we mentioned, his pitch count creeping up now towards 60. A lot of 2-ball, 3-ball counts.
I was talking about these guys, though, at the very beginning of the broadcast, that they do lose occasionally. And last year, combined between Seattle and Texas, he was 12-9. And lost 5 of his last 8 decisions.
Funny how it works, too. Pitching for a Seattle team that had one of the worst offensive seasons in baseball history. He was 8-3. Went to Texas with all that firepower and had a losing record.
Tim's a better bunter than this. He's kind of getting his hands way up away from his body, like he's not really on that inside corner and at the top of the strike zone.
And he strikes out. Twice Tim couldn't get a bunt down tonight. Top of the order with 1 out, Martin Prado.
After the game, and the Braves are celebrating a win, and they're going to talk to Tim Hudson about being 2-0. The one thing he's going to talk about is his bunting.
Well, let's hope we get a chance to say, as our dear friend Ernie Johnson would say, and on this winning night.
Yeah.
Tonight. Ernie, Lois, we're thinking about you all on opening night in Atlanta. Wouldn't be here without you all. As Prado spanks one into center. First and second, 1 out. Prado 2 for 3.
You got a guy that throws a cutter like Cliff Lee does, and it's so effective. The one thing you've got to be able to do is fight a few pitches off, and you got to trust your hands to do that. Martin stayed in, kept his hands inside the baseball, had to pull his hands in a little bit to get the barrel there, but fought it off with some authority. Good swing.
Two outstanding at-bats in this game for Nate McLeod. The first inning single, and then on an 0-2 pitch, grounded out to second, but brought home a run for the Braves. Talked all spring about how much more consistent contact Nate made at the plate.
Last year when Texas got to the postseason and made their run to the World Series, Cliff Lee again sparkled against the American League. He pitched against Tampa Bay, made a couple of starts. He was 2-0 with a 1.13 ERA, just 2 runs in 16 innings. Pitched one game against the Yankees, 8 innings, 2 hits, shutout ball. And then against the National League, the Giants lit him up. 2 starts, 9 runs in 11 innings.
Flare into left. That'll drop for a hit. And the Braves have loaded the bases with 1 out. Again, the left-handed bats giving Lee fits in this game.
And 3 really good at-bats by Nate McLeod tonight. Fastball up. Again, he's not trying to pull off the ball. He's trying to stay on this left-hander. Fought it off a little bit into shallow left. After an 0-2 ground out, got a run in the second inning.
Let's see if Chipper can drive a ball here.
He's grounded out twice.
He's got a couple of good pitches to hit, too.
Fly ball left center. Victorino on the track. It's off his glove. Freeman scores. Prado scores. Here comes McLeod.
Check out the pitch. Slider or cutter that didn't have much on it. Chipper jumped all over it. Great point of contact, and Shane Victorino, who over the last several years has just taken hit after hit away from the Braves, can't come up with this one. And some tremendous base running by McLeod. He was already past second base, waiting to see the outcome of that fly ball, and had a huge advantage scoring from first on that play.
So Chipper clears the bases. We'll see how it's scored. It's a 6-3 Atlanta game, 6 unanswered runs.
Now watch Nate. He's running from first. He's already around second. He waits to see, and now he's off to the races. If Victorino catches the ball, he's still going to have time to hustle back to first base.
Liner by McCann. And just foul.
It was foul, just by inches. So Chipper's one hit away from 2,500. It was ruled a double, correct?
Correct. And 3 RBIs.
Great.
So he's 3 away from 1,500.
Kyle Kendrick now loosening up in the Phillies pen. Tell you what they've done is, with the explosion in the second and now here in the fourth, they've taken Tim Hudson off the hook on that bunting.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul, got him in anyway. Left-handers are having some good swings. That is Kendrick, who was in the rotation last year, but bumped to the bullpen now with their Fab 4 starters plus Joe Blanton, who makes it pretty Fab 5. But you can remember, Chip, I know, just seems like play after play that Shane Victorino has made, running into walls, going up over the wall to make catches. Seems like every game he does something to take an extra base hit away from someone, but not this time.
He's jumped over fences against the Braves in the past.
Yeah, that's a pitch that he called Jason out on an inning ago. Not this time. Good eye by Brian.
Into center field. Chipper got a great jump. Victorino loads up, and Chipper holds.
Chipper knew off the crack of the bat that ball was going to drop, so he got a good jump. He thought he was going to score easily. And when he got held by Snitker, Chipper's lucky he didn't hurt himself at third base because he hit the bag kind of funny. Chipper's running, but Victorino has one of the strongest and most accurate arms in the National League. Now watch Chipper here. Couldn't see it from that angle, but when he hit it with his right foot, he kind of rolled it a little bit.
And the Braves have chased Cliff Lee.
Sometimes these Philly Fab Four lose games or get beat around, and tonight Cliff Lee has been.
You still got to make good pitches, and tonight the Braves took advantage of some pitches that were around the plate and hit them hard. Left-handers 6 for 8 against him tonight, and right-handers not too bad either. 10 hits he allowed in 3 1/3 innings. That's more like it. Here's that play again at third base. Watch Chipper's foot right at the face. As he hits it, he'll roll right there just a little bit with his right ankle, and he was walking around a little bit during the pitching change, kind of walking that off.
Dan Uggla to face Kendrick.
That occurred at third base all because he was surprised that he had to throw out an anchor when Snifter held him up, but it was the right call.
Popped up. Valdez drifting out. Victorino calls him off. And Kendrick retires Uggla for the second out. Kendrick, 26 out of Mount Vernon, Washington. And 10 and 31 starts for the Phillies last year with a 4.73 earned run average.
Shortest outing last year for Cliff Lee came August 31st against Kansas City. He went 4 2/3 innings that day, gave up 7 runs, but only 4 were earned, so a lot of it wasn't his own making. Tonight he goes 3 1/3. And no errors made behind him. And 6 runs allowed so far. Both runners belong to him on the pads.
Nice to pick up another here with 2 outs. Chipper 90 feet away.
So Jason gets a green light here. I expect him to. Kendrick, a sinker slider guy. You got to make him get the ball up, and on a 3-0 count, you're liable to get something above the knees. And he was taking.
The bases are loaded. And Alex Gonzalez is coming up. He's doubled home a run and scored, and was retired by Jimmy Rollins to end the Braves' third.
Never had a hit off Kendrick. This would be a good time for his first. He's 0 for 5.
Sent 9 men to the plate in the 4th inning. All this trouble for that man started with a hit batsman on an 0-2 count. Polanco takes away the short hop, and that retires the side. Another big inning for the Braves. The big blow
A double off the glove of Shane Victorino that cleared the bases for the Braves. 6 unanswered runs for Atlanta as we move to the 5th. Game summary tonight?
Well, it'll have to do for now, but we could add one more Braves cap there a little bit later. Chipper now at 2,499 hits with that big double. Prado a big night, McLeod a big night. Chipper says our offense will get going when the guys at the top of the order start clicking. They're clicking tonight.
You bet. Atlanta's chased Cliff Lee. Kyle Kendrick pitching and now hitting for the Phillies to start their 5th.
Anytime you give Tim Hudson a 3-run lead, you kind of like your chances. He was on the bench, though, for 17-plus minutes during that half inning.
Another bullet through the box. And Kendrick, the Phillies pitcher, leads off with a clean single. That's what, 4 of them tonight?
I'm just glad that one missed him. That had a little heat on it. It was up. He was just going to make Kendrick put the ball in play, and he put a good swing on it.
Victorino a single, an RBI, and a run scored, and a stolen base in his first 2 at-bats.
Gonzalez is going to have Freddie Freeman play behind Kendrick, the pitcher, not expecting him to run, and give Freeman a little more maneuverability with Victorino up there.
And he promptly hits the ball to left. So trouble afoot in the Phillies' 5th. 2 on, nobody out. And Polanco will be the batter.
Well, the good news here, if you want to find some, is that Kendrick is running in front of Victorino, so he's got to wait to see what the pitcher does before he ever advances. Good pitch there to get ahead and hopefully force Polanco to swing the bat and maybe chase a sinker or a split finger pitch and hit a ground ball at somebody.
Which he does. Ugla, tag, and that's all the Braves get. Dan's going to argue Victorino tied him up, but the Braves won't get that call.
It's a hard play to make if you're a second baseman because the fielder knows what you're going to do. You're going to tag him. Victorino hits the turf and really did a good job of just throwing kind of a body block on him to keep Dan from getting his feet under him to make a throw.
He had his hand on Dan's glove, but perhaps from that angle the second base umpire couldn't see that. Runners at the corners, one out for Jimmy Rollins.
Why Dan didn't just catch that ball and maybe backhand it to Gonzalez to try to start a conventional double play. And I would argue that the ball was kind of bounced high and Dan had to come in and get it. That gave Polanco enough time to get out of the box and get down the line a little bit. Might have been tough to double him up the conventional way.
Cue ball. And Tim can't make the play.
Saw that coming, didn't he? Tim takes a lot of pride in his overall game, not just his good pitching, but his ability to bunt and ability to field his position. But this ball had so much spin on it, and then when he did plant his foot, he just buckled. It'll be an E1. And that hurts with this big boy coming up, Ryan Howard.
Second error of the night for the Braves. You're right, Howard now with the bases loaded. And don't like that note under his name.
A little different look to the shift, too. Ugla can't play out in shallow right field on the grass. You'd like to have the opportunity to turn a double play, so he's got to come in and plant himself on the dirt.
Check swing. Hudson's coming home. One there. Freddie dug it out. He just wanted a little drama, didn't Tim? lead with our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
You give Tim a second chance, he's not going to fail. He might have booted the one from Rollins, but he didn't mess up this one in a 1-2-3 double play over one of the most feared hitters in the game. With the bases loaded, gets him out of the inning. Second inning in a row for a double play for Tim.
Who's going to hit behind Freddie Freeman as the Braves come up for their 5th inning. Freddie has reached twice. He has scored twice. Braves have chased Cliff Lee, who allowed 6 earned runs, 10 hits in 3 innings and a third. Kendrick to the first base bag for out number 1. Tim Hudson bats. Back to the trivia question. It's brought to you by our friends at AT&T Uverse. Tim Hudson, one of 3 active pitchers with a 17-win year in both leagues. Who are the other 2?
We think it's Lowe and Halladay, right?
I'll go with it. Let's see if we're right. After the pitch.
God. Attention.
I led you astray again, buddy. You had Halladay. Forgot about Carl Pavano.
Just a minute. Derek Lowe won 16 games last year. I thought he won 17.
Yep.
It was Hudson who won 17.
Yep.
Dang it.
Did we get partial credit?
Yes.
Okay, good. I like the way you think. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's been a rough night for Tim at the plate tonight, hasn't it?
Before, big swing. And then clonk.
Easy, Tim. And Howard takes care of that for the second out. I'm sure Tim's got a sheepish grin. Yeah, they're giving it to him.
Yeah, he just
straight to the
field.
Top of the order. Martin Prado. Another good night for Martin at the plate. He's doubled home a run. He's singled and he has scored.
Good pitch. Took a little off. Took Kendrick a while to kind of win his way onto this Phillies team. There were times where they didn't know if he was going to have the makeup and mental toughness to be an everyday starter in the National League. But last year, I think he proved his mettle.
Martin has a 3-hit game.
Martin showing a lot of socks tonight in this home opener when they lined up for the pre-game festivities and they were on the line. Cito Blanco was all over him. What in the world are you doing?
I like it, don't you?
I do too.
He keeps hitting. He can wear his socks however he wants. Now McLeod pulls the ball to second, and that will retire the side. Second three-hit game of the year for Martin Prado. On we go to inning number 6. Deficit after the first inning and a half, and there's nothing quite like opening day at home.
Get the flyover. Great introduction tonight with the players running in from center field, and who better to throw out the ceremonial first pitch but number 6. And to his successor, Freddie Gonzalez.
Breaking ball got away from Hudson, and the first pitch of the 6th inning will send Ben to first base. Bobby Cox is here. Doesn't he have to be our McDonald's fan of the game?
Absolutely.
Here's Ibanez. He's bounced to second twice. If I'm not mistaken, Bobby also threw out the first pitch last night at Coolray Field for the Gwinnett Braves, right?
Yeah, Freddie Gonzalez asked him if he's going to be okay to go back-to-back days. Apparently he was all right. Sitting with daughter Skyla and wife Pam. Down in spring training quite a bit, especially early in camp, watching the workouts.
I loved his answer to one of the reporters' questions when they asked, well, what are you doing in your spare time? He said, I'm going to the mall a lot. And he said, I caught on to that mall thing real quick.
I think they've got a cruise coming up in a few days, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Pam had already booked it and prepaid for it, so that there was no way that Bobby could change his mind and back out of retirement.
Well, it's well-deserved, and it's great to see Bobby and his family at the ballpark. And, again, the most touching part, from one great manager to another with the ceremonial first pitch.
Seen that before, haven't we? Reaction.
You think he's yelling easy when?
I don't think he can help it.
Braves pitcher makes contact and runs down the line.
Good pitch by Hudson to strike out Ibanez. Two strikeouts for Tim. Ruiz hits with a runner at first. Here's an energy-saving tip from Georgia Power. Unplug electronics or use a power strip to turn them off when not in use. For more energy-saving tips, visit georgiapower.com. Runner goes from first, and Ruiz had a good cut.
Francisco had a big jump. Stole a base in the first inning.
Phillies have been averaging over 7 runs a game to start the year. They have less than half of that here in the 6th. Chipper has to charge. Tough play on the run.
This isn't that barehanded play that he makes so well, as good as anybody that's ever played the game, but it's just it's equally tough to come in a little bit in between hop and decide if you're going to glove it, kind of set your feet and glove it and take your chances on a flat-footed throw. And he made the great decision there because it was Ruiz, the catcher, running. Tim Hudson tonight, another ground ball out. That's 13 versus only one fly out. The one fly ball out was Ryan Howard's sacrifice fly in the first. .75% of his outs last year were by way of ground balls, and that was tops in the National League.
Tim would love to get Valdez here. The pitcher's spot is next.
And Pete Orr, former Brave, is out on deck. Valdez reaches, it looks like Antonio Bastardo will be the next pitcher for the Phils. Tim had to use up a lot of pitches early. Gave up the 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second, but it's been pretty much cruising since then. He's only thrown 81 pitches.
And Freddie leaps and robs Wilson Valdez.
Nice to be 6'5". Way to get up. That saved a run.
Hudson out of trouble in inning number 6. Chipper Jones, chasing a little history, will lead things off for Atlanta. 1 hit away from 2,500 in his career. Hudson sitting on 2,499 hits. Let's go to the highlight reel. Remember these, folks?
This is number 1,000 against Livan Hernandez when he was with the Giants back in 2000. Number 2,000 off Foster Carmona, the Indians in interleague play. June of 07. One more for 2,500.
And he'll take a look at Antonio Bastardo, who's on for the third game for Philadelphia.
He'll bat 8th, and Pete Orr will check in the game to play second base and bat 9th.
Chipper, the big blow in the ball game. A double off the glove of Victorino, who had to run a mile in center field. 3 runs scored to break a 3-3 tie. It's now 6-3 Atlanta.
Unless they're here tonight, I'm sure his folks are watching back in Texas, hoping to get that hit right here.
Line drive left field. He's got it.
Want to get that baseball. Appreciation and love from Ryan Howard, too.
Now the next plateau for Chipper, that RBI mark.
Fastball down, put a good swing on it, hit it hard. Almost afraid there's going to hang up for Ibanez to run under.
And Chipper gets to 1,500 RBIs. With those 2,500 hits, he'll join Eddie Murray as the only other switch hitter with those 2 numbers. Ask you about the Phillies bullpen. We know that Brad Lidge is going to be out until at least the All-Star break with his various injuries. Is the bullpen a problem for Charlie Manuel at the start of this year?
Certainly is. I mean, he's using Contreras. Jose Contreras is the closer. And Ryan Madsen still is the setup man as you see Brian go down. But their bullpen suffered at the hands of the Braves last year. A 7.31 ERA. So in some ways, I mean, Charlie's counting on Contreras to do the job, but they've been scoring so many runs, it hasn't been an issue yet. Hasn't even shown up on the radar.
Ugla hits. Again, with no disrespect to the Phillies, they have a very favorable schedule the first 5-6 weeks of the season. They play the Braves a couple of times. They play the Padres in a series. But they don't play many winning teams while all of their principal players are hurt. And they certainly did a lot of damage to the Astros and the Mets, winning 5 of their first 6 games before coming down to Atlanta tonight.
Saw Bobby Cox on his feet along with all the fans here tonight. The sellout crowd celebrating Chipper's 2,500th hit. So he didn't see the 8 that Chipper got on the road trip. Those are the only 8 he's missed in Chipper's career.
Pretty amazing.
He's here for this big one tonight. Two down now, and it's the 6th inning, meaning it's time for the Coors Light freeze cap. How about this play off the bat of Chipper? His first hit tonight with the bases loaded, a double to deep center. Victorino kind of overran the ball and had it glance off his glove. And that drove in 3 big base runners. That's the Coors Light freeze can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Jason Hayward's triple awakened the bat rack in the Braves' second. That started a 3-run inning. Braves added 3 more in the 4th, as you saw. Big story in this game, the left-handed batters against left-handed starter Cliff Lee. They battered him. Atlanta with 12 hits in the game leads 6-3.
Tip stirred up a little dirt into the face of Carlos Ruiz. Hate to tell Carlos this, but it's probably just the pollen.
It's as thick as that Georgia clay this time of year, isn't it?
Stardo throwing hard. That last pitch at 94. Stardo pitched well in the spring too to earn a spot in the bullpen. Only gave up 1 run in 9 appearances, 9 innings worth.
And he struck out the side after giving up a milestone hit. Chipper Jones in the 2,500 hit club tonight. And the Braves, after 6, lead the Phillies.
Trust, by AT&T Uverse, by McDonald's, by Toyota, and by Georgia Power. Joe and Chip with you on opening night from Turner Field in Atlanta. Here's our Academy Sports and Outdoors game summary.
You just joined us. You've missed a lot. Braves fell behind 3-0, and then they went to work on Cliff Lee. Knocked him out of there in 3 1/3 innings. Last year's shortest outing was 4 2/3 innings.
And a defensive Tim Hudson, who gave up 3 runs in the first 2 innings. The Phillies were hitting balls off of his body, hitting balls off bases, bloopers, bleeders.
Yeah, he didn't catch many breaks in those first 2 innings. Pitch count at 86 now. And Eric O'Flaherty begins to loosen up in the Braves pen just in case. Tim went 7 innings in his first start in Washington. Peter Moylan also loosening up.
Or the first out. Be interesting to see if the score remains 6-3. Who finishes the game in the Braves bullpen? Remember, Craig Kimbrell has closed games, but is not the closer, as it were.
I'm not sure about that now.
Really?
Yeah, I really, nothing that, no one's told me anything different than what you just said, but he struck out 5 of the 6 guys he's faced. And when the opportunity presented itself to use Kimbrell in the 8th and Venters in the 9th, Freddie and Roger decided, you know what, let's just stick with the Venters in the 8th and Kimbrell in the 9th, and it worked out great.
Victorino, a flare to left. Martin Prado covered a lot of ground.
Only the 3rd out by way of air tonight. 2 fly balls in that line drive last inning to first.
As Polanco hits 1 for 3. Well, the point of the non-closer situation was, as Freddie said in the spring, Johnny Venters has closer stuff too. And if you have a left-hand hitting lineup, you would feel comfortable using Johnny at times in those spots.
And the example he used was the Phillies, especially with Howard and Utley. If Utley were in the lineup, if they were going to be coming up in the 9th, he might use Venters instead.
Tim's retired 6 in a row, and he sends this game to the 7th inning stretch with a 3-run lead.
Well, the first chapter of an 18-chapter novel that'll be written by the Braves and Phillies this year. So far, Braves fans enjoying the plot. 6-3 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. And as always, when we welcome you home, we remind you that Delta Airlines is a proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves. We were all thrilled to get on our Delta charter and come home from Milwaukee yesterday.
Yes, it was nice to know that the sun does still shine.
Yes. Cold, raw weather in D.C. and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But a great weekend begins at the TED. Great weather expected tomorrow and Sunday as well. If you haven't made your plans, come on down to the ballpark as Braves country rocking and rolling once again at Turner Field.
Well, it didn't start out so good tonight, but these fans have had a lot to cheer about since the end of the top of the 2nd inning.
So Bastardo will remain in the game for the Phillies. The Braves will have the lower portion of their order. Gonzalez, Freeman, and then the pitcher spot.
Braves were down 3-0 when the Braves came to bat in the bottom of the 2nd, but Jason Hayward got things rolling. A ringing triple into left center field, and then a double drilled down the line by Alex Gonzalez, his 299th double of his career. Ground rule double by Martin Prado, plated another run, and then a key at bat on an 0-2 pitch. McLeod got a 3rd run home to tie the game up on that ground out. That was huge.
Well, Chipper has a nice round number to his career statistics. Let's see if Alex can pick up his 300th double. Ball 1.
After that base hit by Chipper, this guy has been really tough. Struck out McCann, Ugla, and Hayward in succession, all swinging.
Now 2-2.
Don't have to go too far back, though. Find a game in which the Phillies rallied from a 3-run deficit. They did it opening day against the Astros. With 5 hits in the bottom of the 9th and came back to win that game.
The Braves will have to face their big boys in the lineup coming up in the next inning. That's the 8th.
Boston won a game. I guess they're going to continue to play the season out there.
Yeah, and they beat the Yankees too. So, everybody's happy up there. Weirdest story of the day involved the Rays and Manning.
Yeah, how about that?
First the 3-2 pitch to Alex. And it's 4 strikeouts in a row for Bastardo. 1 away in the 7th for Atlanta.
I forgot the terminology used in the the statement that came from Major League Baseball, but something about drug rules,
Yeah, I don't remember the wording either. The essence was that there was apparently something came up, and Manny decided, well, I'm going to go ahead and retire.
Yeah, he violated the drug rules that are in
Banned
place.
substance list.
Yeah, for Major League Baseball.
Right.
Remember, he did a 50-day stint when he was with the Dodgers because of using a hormone that was banned, a female hormone. So I don't know what happened here, but apparently there was a test done. And he decided rather than face the complications or the responsibilities that go with that, he decided to hang him up.
So you're the Tampa Bay Rays. You sign Manny Ramirez and Johnny Damon to help your offense. You're 0-6. He gets suspended. And you get to play the White Sox.
Rather than get suspended, I think he took a hike.
Yeah. One ball, 2 strikes for Freddie.
Good swing. Seems like he's taking his best swings against left-handers, like he's concentrating so hard or staying locked in over the plate and not giving in. And he's waiting to see the ball before he reacts and has a good cut.
Braves trying to get back to 500 tonight. Hopeful of handing the Phillies their second loss of the young season. Another swinging strikeout.
Chased a bad one there.
A reminder for you, our copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of Atlanta National League Baseball Club Incorporated. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Braves. Tim Hudson stays in the game.
Really amazed you still remember that. Just embedded in your memory.
Well, it's been a long time since I had to do the disclaimer, Joe.
You talked to him about it. There's that hook. He
Yep.
just missed one his last time up when he pulled one foul. Right after he hit himself in the back of the head with his follow-through. Got one up and just threw some hands at this one.
And how about Bastardo? 2 innings, 6 swinging strikeouts. Pretty impressive. 8th inning in Atlanta. as we check out the AT&T U-verse game summary.
Those are all A's across there tonight, folks. So far, so good. And Tim Hudson back out there for the 8th inning.
And it's Rollins, Howard, and Francisco scheduled for the Phillies. Philadelphia had 4 of their 7 hits in the first 2 innings.
Not a whole lot unlike his start in Washington.
Just 3 singles since. That was his 91st pitch of the game.
He had 1 complete game last year. 23 in his career.
That ball ate Rollins alive. 7 in a row set down. And it's not too late. Braves prorated season ticket plans are still available, starting as low as $4 per game. Become a Braves season ticket holder today and get great benefits. Stadium discounts, on-field events, player meet and greets, and a whole lot more. Visit Braves.com or call 404-577-9100.
Okay, we're talking about 2 different kinds of shifts now. Remember in Milwaukee for fielder, Chipper stayed on the third base side a second, and Gonzalez went over to the first base side. Maybe because they were, if they needed to turn a double play, and they did in that type situation. Venner's got a ground ball from fielder. Remember?
Yep.
So now with nobody on, Chipper's the guy that goes over to the first base side a second, and Gonzalez stays put.
And this is the way we saw Freddie shift when he managed the Marlins.
Yes, it is.
Andy Ramirez would be the man that stayed in his shortstop position, and Jorge Cantu or whomever was playing third base would move across the diamond. High pop fly. Gonzalez in fair ground makes a tough play.
Very tough play, had a long way to go, and looked like when he caught that ball, he kept both feet in bounds.
You have to do that in this league, you know.
He checked to see where Martin was, checked again, and then, oh, no. Had 1 foot out. College, it's okay. Get 1 down.
Francisco, the hitter.
This guy's done a good job for them in the absence of Dominic Brown, who was supposed to be their everyday right fielder with Jason Worth gone. Brown got hit with a pitch, broke his hand in spring training.
That ball's well hit to right. Jason on the run, can't get it. He tumbles to the track. And Francisco doubles with 2 out.
This was pitch number 100 for Tim. And a long run to one of the deepest parts of the ballpark for Hayward. And as he comes up short on the catch on pitch number 100, Freddie comes out of the dugout, and listen to the hand for Tim Hudson.
Tip of the cap for Tim, who goes 7 2/3 of 8-hit, 2-strikeout baseball and a 3-run lead.
Teammates tied it up, then took the lead for him, and he has been just lights out ever since. No walks tonight, 2 strikeouts.
He'll give way to Johnny Venters, the first call. The AT&T call to the bullpen for Freddie tonight. And Raul Ibanez, the first man he'll face.
There's you a 95-mile-an-hour heater in on your belt buckle, so you're trying to get tuned up for that, and then he throws you a slider, and you've already started your swing about 30 seconds ago.
To say, you see a lot of swings like that against Johnny, don't you? And that too.
An 86 slider.
Unhittable. Bottom of the 8th inning. 6-3 Atlanta. .331 has enjoyed our SunTrust solid performer tonight, and it's the man leading off the Atlanta 8th.
Quite a night for Martin. 3 for 4 with a double, his second 3-hit game of the season already. After flying out in the first inning, this double in the second drove in a run. Fought one off from Cliff Lee into center field for a base hit in the 4th, scored a run, and singled in the 5th. Chance for a 4-hit night tonight for Martin.
J.C. Romero is on for the Phillies now. He's their 4th pitcher in the game.
J.C.'s been a guy that over the last several years has been one of the key setup men for Charlie Manuel, but he has been he's lost his job. And he may have really lost it tonight the way Bastardo pitched.
Yeah, Bastardo faced 7 hitters, gave up Chipper's 2,500th hit, but struck out 6 men in 2 innings. Otto's had a good night, so is the man on our Delta Airlines on deck.
Took in 14 games, twice as many games to get 6 hits last year, so a good start for Nate. Certainly a welcome sign for him.
He'll take a 6-game hitting streak into game 2 of the series tomorrow. Otto Rollins. 1 out. Key at bat in this game for Atlanta was Nate McLouth's ground ball out on an 0-2 pitch against Cliff Lee that brought home Freddie Freeman and tied the game 3-3.
Real solid professional at bat. Did what he had to do.
Point earlier that making consistent contact was a big goal of his this spring. He struck out just 5 times in 70 some odd at bats. The last couple of games making much more consistent contact. These lefties out of the Philly bullpen are racking up the strikeouts. A 2 for 4 night so far for Chipper. Fourth inning double, broke a 3-3 tie. Last time up, history.
Romero doesn't throw as hard as Bastardo. He's in the 88 to 91 or 2 range. That last pitch 91, but he will backdoor you with a slider if he gets ahead. Might try that here, 2-2. Meaning he'll throw a slider that looks like it's off the plate and try to break it right over the outside corner, hoping you give up on it. Fastball instead.
If you missed it, here's our Toyota play of the game.
Last time up, off of Bastardo. Line shot to left. That'll go into the safe deposit box.
A 2-out walk. McCann's 2 for 3 with a base on balls. Kimbrel getting ready for the ninth.
Bottom part of the order for Philadelphia. This is a guy, Romero, that's given Brian Fitz. I knew he'd struggled against him in his career, but looking it up, 1 for 16. There aren't too many 1 for 16s on Brian's ledger against pitchers.
Seems like every good hitter has that one guy that no matter what they do, makes life tough for them.
Romero's a little bit like Pedro Feliciano, who had been with the Mets, now with the Yankees, in that he'll drop down, he'll change his arm angle, very deceptive, has kind of a funny leg kick, sometimes hard to pick the ball up.
And he just froze him over the outside corner. That's been a generous corner most of the night. And that sends this game to the 9th inning. Braves need 3 outs to beat the Phillies for the first time. And seems to bring out his best, and no different tonight. Coors Light and cold hard blast time.
Absolutely. First at bat home run last year. First at bat triple to left center tonight. And that got the Braves offense going in the 2nd inning. And I'm glad he got his hands up in it. Head first slide into third and no thumb problems over there.
So, good night for Jason. Another AT&T call to the bullpen. Craig Kimbrell will go for save number 3.
Be aggressive here. Go right after these guys. No reason to nitpick on the bottom part of the order. You don't want to put anybody on base that you might turn the order over and get to those guys who can do some damage at the top. Again, this guy, an excellent fastball hitter.
Not many are going to hit that one.
Not in on your hands at 96 at the letters, no. Craig just getting loose. Takes him a couple, 3 pitches, and he's at 98. He's so strong in his lower half. His legs and backside he really does drive to the plate. Not necessarily a drop and drive like the old Tom Seaver delivery, but his power really comes from that lower half.
You can see physically why some around baseball have called him a left-handed version of Billy Wagner. Same build, about the same height. Main difference, Wagner left-handed, Kimbrell right-handed. Popped up. Shallow center. Nate McLeod. One out. Ross Glode will bat for Romero. He swings at the first pitch. And the Phillies down to their final out.
Sellout crowd has been treated to a dandy ball game, and they get fireworks afterwards too.
Strike one to Pete Orr.
And I'm sure Kimbrel very much appreciates those comparisons to Billy Wagner, who we respected so much last year. '96 with a little hop on it.
Braves win. Atlanta erases a 3-0 deficit to former Cy Young Award winner Cliff Lee. They score 6 unanswered runs, and the home debut for Freddie Gonzalez as the manager of the Atlanta Braves. A 6-3 final over the defending division champion Philadelphia Phillies.
Great night all around. Good comeback, good starting pitching, and a nasty slider to end it.